Welcome back to MonsterTamer, our 2D Pokemon-like RPG created Phaser 3. In our last video, we worked on expanding our main level in Tiled. If you haven't seen the previous episode, you can find the link in the description. As always, you can grab the project source code up to this point, along with the completed code for this video, from the links in the description. I'll also include any assets you'll need to follow along. So let's get started. So now for our map, we'll want to start off by updating our collision layer. So let's make our layer visible, we'll unlock it. Let's choose our collision tile set. So let's start off by choosing our eraser tool. Let's remove our two tiles here where our boulders were previously at. Now with our stamp brush, we want to start painting all of our trees and our fence tiles here. So if you hold the shift key, we'll come all the way down to our trees. We'll do the same thing on our other side. Then we'll paint our fences. Now I'm going to come up to our next fence. We'll come over to our mountain. So now for our game, our player has no way to get down here, so we won't paint our tile down here. Instead, we'll come up this way through our mountain. Let's do our boulders, our next mountain. Then we'll come up to our tree line. We'll do the bottom of our trees. Let's do the same thing on our other side. But now we'll come up, and we'll do our mountain. So now we'll want to do the edge of our water. So now for our trees, instead of just coming straight up, we're going to leave a gap here so our player can walk behind the top of our tree here. So instead, we're going to paint a tile like this. We'll come up, we'll come over to the edge of our trees. Now we'll paint all the way up. We'll come over, we'll come up. And now we want to do the bottom of our trees here. So now we want to come up. We'll add in our collision tiles here. Then we just want to do the same pattern on the other side. So let's go ahead and save. And now we want to create our forest level. So from tile, let's do file. We'll do new. We're going to do a new map. For our map size, let's do 20 by 12. So let's do file. We're going to do save. Now for our level name, we're going to call this forest_1. So now we'll need to import our tile sets we want to use. So let's do new tile set. We want to make sure we choose embed in map. Let's do browse. So now from our assets folder, we'll start off with our grass tiles. Make sure it's 64 by 64. We'll hit OK. We'll do another tile set. We'll do our collision image. We'll do another new tile set. We'll do our encounter. Another new tile set. Now we'll want to do our bushes. Then finally, one more tile set. And now we'll want to do our basic plains, so we'll have our trees. So now that we have our tile sets, we can start creating our layers. Let's start off with our ground layer. So for our ground layer, let's choose our foregrass tiles. We'll do our random mode. Let's do our shape fill tool. And now we'll draw in our full rectangle. Next, let's do a group layer. I'm going to call this background. Let's place our ground layer inside our background layer. Let's do a new tile layer. Let's do decoration. We'll do another tile layer. We're going to do our boulders. Now we're going to do our tree top and our tree bottom. Now let's want to start painting some of our trees. So let's do our tree top. We'll do our tree top layer. Start off on our edge. We'll come over 3 trees. Now we'll alternate and we'll do 4 trees. Now to repeat that pattern. And now we want to open up our area a little bit for our player to move around, so we'll just do 2 trees. Now for our last 2 rows, we'll do our 4 trees. So I'm going to grab our select tool. I'm going to copy that. We'll come to our other side. So we'll leave a gap of 3. Now for our 3rd row, we're going to have 3 trees. So we're going to have 2.5. Then we'll have 2 trees. So repeat that pattern. Now we want to come over, we're going to have our 4.5 trees, and we'll match what we did at the top row. Now let's do our tree bottoms. So we'll choose these 2 tiles. We'll alternate those. Let's choose our select tool. We'll grab our trees. We'll copy, we'll paste. Next, we'll choose our boulder layer. Let's choose our boulder tile, and we're going to block off our forest. So for our forest level, for the time being, we're going to keep our level very small, just to make sure everything's working. Later on, we could expand our game by updating our map size and extending this to a new area. Oh, and then real quick, we just need to fix our tree bottoms. Much better. Now we need to create our collision layer, so we'll do a new tile layer. We're going to call this collision. We'll grab our collision tile. I'm going to update our opacity. So I'll do the bottom of our map. We'll come up for our tree. And we'll come over. Come all the way up. Next, we'll add in some bushes so we can encounter some monsters in our area. Let's do our decoration layer. Let's do our bushes. We'll do this tile here. We'll paint 3 tiles. We'll do another row. And we'll do one more small row. So now for our encounters, we'll want to create a new group layer. We'll call this encounter. Now we want to do a new tile layer. We're going to do encounter area. We'll do area 3. We'll move that tile layer into our group layer. Now we want to do our encounter tile. We'll paste that on top of our bushes. We'll update our opacity. Now for our encounter area, we'll want to choose our encounter class. For our area ID, we'll do 3. And now for our tile type, we're going to do grass. Finally, we need to connect our forest level to our main area. So we'll need to create a new object layer. We'll call this our scene transitions. For this, we'll want to add a new object, so we'll do insert tile. Let's choose our encounter tile, and we'll want to position this at the bottom of our map, and we'll do 3 of these. Now for our objects, we'll want to choose our entrance class, and now for our properties, we want to connect this map to our main_1 map. Now for our first entrance, we'll do our entrance ID of 1, and since this isn't a building, we won't populate that. Now we need to do the same thing for our 2 other entrances. Do our main_1, do entrance ID 2, and now I'll do our entrance, main_1, and we'll do entrance 3. So now we'll want to save our level, we'll come back to our main area, and now we need to connect this to our forest level. So let's do our scene transitions layer, we'll make it visible, let's unlock it. Let's choose our encounter tile, and we'll insert a tile at the top of our map. So now for our class name, we're going to do our entrance, and now we want to connect to our forest_1 level. This will be our first entrance ID, and this is not a building. So now if we choose our object, I'm going to copy, we'll paste it. We'll update our entrance ID to be 2. We'll paste it one more time. We're going to do our entrance ID to be 3. Now that we have our new level and we've updated our main area to connect to that level, we should be able to test our changes in our code. For this, we'll need to export out our images and our JSON files that we need in our phaser game. So let's go to our forest level. We'll start off by hiding our encounter, our scene transitions, and our collision layers. Now we want to go to File. We're going to do Export as Image. For this, I'm going to place these on my desktop. So now for our background, do forest_1_level_background.png. And now for our foreground image, we'll need to make a new tile layer. We'll call this foreground. Let's place that down below our collision layer. Now for our foreground layer, we want to add in any tiles that our player can walk behind. And to make sure we paint the right tiles, let's turn on our collision layer. Oh, it looks like we need to fix a few things in our collision layer. So I'm going to grab our collision tile. Let's paint the bottom of our trees here. Much better. So now for our foreground layer, we'll want to grab the top of our trees. We're going to paint this anywhere where our player can walk behind one of our trees. So we'll paint those tiles here. Grab the other part of our tree. I'll grab our whole top. And now to make sure everything's working, we'll hide our collision layer, and we'll hide our background layer, and now we should see the top of our trees. So now if we do File, let's do Export as Image. So now we'll do forest_1_level, and we want to do our foreground.png. Now finally, we want to export our layer as a JSON file, so we can do File, Export As. Now we want to do forest_1, and we'll do JSON. So now if we come back to our main area, we'll want to do the same thing here. So we'll hide our collision area. We'll make sure our background is visible. Let's do File, Export as Image. So now for our background, we'll do main_1_level. underscore background dot png. And now we'll need to update our foreground. So let's enable our collision layer. We'll unlock our foreground layer. Let's choose the top of our trees. So we'll paint those in. Now we'll undo our smaller trees. Alright, so let's go ahead and save. We'll hide our collision layer. Let's hide our background layer. We'll do File, Export as Image. We'll do main, _1, _level. Now we want to do our foreground, .png. So now that we've created our images and our JSON files, let's jump over to our code. So now in our project code, we're going to want to place our two JSON files under our assets folder under data. And we should have our forest_1 and our main_1 JSON files here. Next, under our assets, under images, under MonsterTamer, under our map, this is where we'll want to place our foreground and our background images for our forest and our main level. Now that we've added our new assets to our project, we need to tell Phaser to load these in. We'll start off in our assetkeys.js file. Under our object for our world asset keys, let's copy our 3 keys tied to our main level. We're going to paste those below our grass. Now instead of doing main_1, we'll do our forest_1. We want to do our background, our foreground, and our level. We'll update our values to match our keys. And now we'll want to jump over to our preload scene. So now if we go into our preload method, where we reference our world asset keys, let's copy our lines of code where we load in our main_1 foreground and background images and our JSON file. So we'll grab those. We'll come down after we load in our building JSON files. We'll paste those in. We'll remove our line of code for our collision image. Now for our reference, we're going to do our forest_1 background. We'll do our forest, our foreground. We're going to group these together. So now this will be our forest_1, our forest_1. And we'll do the same thing for our JSON. And for our last asset key, we're going to do forest_1 and then our level. Alright, so now when we save, our game should refresh, and we should see no errors tied to loading in our new assets. So now to make it a little bit easier to test our changes, we'll come down to the bottom of our create method. Let's start off in our world scene right away. We'll save. And first thing we'll do is we're going to clear out our local storage. So we're going to do local storage.clear. That should remove all of our saves. And now if we refresh our game, so now when our game loads, we're going to see that our player actually spawns in our second town. So what's happening is in our main area, since we expanded our size, our default player starting position no longer works for our game. So for our map, our top left-hand corner is going to be 0, 0 for our tile index. And right now in our data manager, for our player's position, we have our player start off at tile 4 and then 21 for our Y value. And so if we look in tiled, that's going to position us right here where we see our player spawning. And so if we want our player to spawn back at our starting house, we'll need to update that starting position to be 1468. So we'll do 14 for our X. Let's do 68 for our Y. So now when we save, our game's going to refresh, our player won't be visible, but we can no longer see our player. So now if we save, when our game refreshes, now we have a different view of our world, but we can no longer see our player. What's happening is in our world scene, when we set up our camera, we initially set our bounds to the size of our original map. Since we updated our map size, we'll need to update our values here. For the time being, we're just going to update our hard-coded values, but then we'll come back later on and we're going to make our camera more dynamic based on our level data and tiled. So for our new values, we're going to do 2560 for our width. We'll do 5184 for our height. So now if we save and refresh, we'll see right away our camera is now focused on our player. And one thing we'll have to fix will be this black area here on our map. For the time being, we're going to ignore this so we can test our level transitions. Alright, so if we try moving down, we should trigger our cutscene. We'll see right away we have an issue where our NPC isn't showing up. So if we open up our events.json file, we're going to need to update our tiles positions to account for our new world size. So for our NPC, we want to add 10 to our X. We'll make this 16. And now we want to do 67 for our Y. Now for our next NPC, for our X, we'll make this 20. We'll do 56 for our Y. Now if we go ahead and save, let's refresh our game. So now if we move down, our NPC should appear at our door and then move to our player. So now let's try to leave our town and we'll head out to our next area. Alright, let's go ahead and save our game. And now before we try to go to our second town, let's go into our world scene. We're going to disable our encounters. So if we come to our handle player movement and encounter zone method, let's come down to our line where we calculate if we encounter a monster. We're just going to hardcode this to be set to false. Now if we save, our game should refresh. Now if we start moving up through our grass, eventually we should see that our boulders are removed. We can move through them. And now we can see the new area for our game. So right now our level's a little bit barren, but we'll come back and we'll decorate this later to add some life to our game. So if we leave our second town, we head up to our forest area, we get to the top. Once we reach the top of our map and try to exit, we should now enter our forest area. So now if we try heading back, we should reload our main area. Nice. Now that we've loaded in our new forest level and tested our new expanded main area, that actually brings this video to an end. In our next video, we're going to focus on decorating our new main area, and we'll start adding in things like new NPCs, signs, buildings, and we'll add in some new encounter areas for our player to pass through on our way to our next town. So as a reminder, there's a link in the description of the video to the completed source code for this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking the video and hitting the bell icon to be notified when the next video in the series is released. For more great Phaser content, please see some links on your screen now.